Hey, welcome back to Making the Changes Season 2, the series where we look at the foundations of jazz improvisation. When I first got into improvising, I definitely did my fair share of blagging. I'm pretty sure I bled the minor pentatonic dry. I can vividly recall my first jazz gig, and I knew then that my blagging my way through the changes just wasn't cutting it. Today we're diving into a tune that seems very simple, but isn't. Blue Bossa, and I'm going to tell you why you can't blag your way through it. Let's get into it. So here's the thing, Blue Bossa looks easy, it's a bossa nova, it's got that catchy melody, and hey, it's only got a few chords, right? As jazz tunes go, it seems straightforward, but if you're a beginner or coming from another genre, it's deceptively tricky, and here's why. The opening 8 bars are in C minor. If you listen to that, you can hear how those chords work together. To me, it feels like we start at home on the C minor, the F minor takes us away briefly, before that 2-5, particularly that dominant, the G7, sending us back home to C minor. But it's the next 4 bars that can trip people up. It's a dramatic shift, just listen to it. Now this section, it moves into a different key, the key of D flat major. So we've gone up a semitone from C minor into a major key to D flat major. And then for the remainder of the song, we go back to the parent key of the song, C minor, to see out the form. Now the term here to use is key centers, and we have 2 of them. We have these sections being in C minor and this line being in D flat major. Your long-term goal should be to, with standards like this, is to understand these kind of things, learn to hear it, and then obviously ultimately forget it and just play. But that understanding is a critical foundation. If you just try to feel it out or noodle using C minor pentatonic the whole time, guess what? It just sounds like you're ignoring half the tune. Sure, you might have some happy accidents, but the likely outcome is that the section in D flat is going to sound weird, and you'll be desperate for it to get back to C minor. I'd relate this to swimming at sea. I'm not particularly comfortable being out of my depth, and getting back to being able to feel the sea floor. That's when we get back to C minor. I can think of plenty of gigs where I've been playing over the tune without knowing the changes, and the tune might take an unexpected turn, and it's just horrible. And to avoid that, there's just no substitute for working on the following goals with standards you want to play well. Understanding chords and seeing larger structures like 2-5-1s and key centers. Internalizing the sound of the chord changes so you can hear that next chord coming. Being able to express the harmony on your instrument, a key foundation. And ultimately, creating phrases and musical ideas that go beyond just playing arpeggios or scales. So in essence, when faced with these 2 key centers, we need to make the changes in one way or another. Now here are 2 ways you could do that. First, knowing the 2 key centers, you could simply play using just 2 scales. Keeping it simple, you might use, say, C minor pentatonic for when we're in C minor, and then D flat major scale for that 4-bar section. And just a note, that kind of practice, when you do it, sing or focus on hearing the notes in your head. Please, please don't let it just be shapes and patterns. For me, keeping things simple and melodic is much more preferable than some sort of stream of consciousness solo. So that's one way to address this problem. I actually, though, think that arpeggios get to the root of the problem more effectively. They express the sound of the chord, and they really help us internalize the sound of the chord changes, provided you practice them musically. So even in simple quarter notes or eighth notes, you could try and outline the chords as they change, maybe starting out of time and then trying it to a track like this. From there, I work on practicing arpeggios descending and then connecting to the nearest note of the next arpeggio, and that's the foundation for smoother lines. Once we're hitting the key centres though, remember arpeggio notes alone can be a bit bland, and just because there are 4 notes in a chord doesn't mean we have to play them or ignore the other remaining 8 notes. For me, an arpeggio like C minor 7 has 4 chord tones. It then has 4 chromatic approach notes. And then it has 4 notes above. And combining those 3 different elements can help you create beautiful phrases. Now I get that working on arpeggios or scales can feel frustrating for improvisation, but if you really internalize the sounds, learn to think and hear ahead, and carefully listen to the chord movements, you'll end up playing music with them. And that's what separates real improvisation from just playing licks. You might borrow from jazz vocabulary, but for me, the whole point of the genre is to express ourselves and be creative. So no, you can't blag Blue Bossa. It's a test of whether you understand harmony or whether you're just hoping your scale shapes will carry you through. But the good news, once you crack this tune, you'll be ready for loads of other tunes with similar movements and harmony. It's a great gateway tune. Now, if you feel like you're missing some of these fundamentals, I'd suggest going back to season 1 of Making the Changes. I'll put the playlist on the screen for you now. Many thanks for watching today. If this has helped, please hit the like button, drop a comment with your Blue Bossa soloing horror stories or wins, and please subscribe for more breakdowns like this. Don't forget, jazz guitar lessons every Monday with myself, Andy. Until next time, you take care.